1102, cardiac arrest.
One by one,
Parkview High School.
multiple students overdosed, many involving fentanyl.
15-year-old male, possible overdose.
And the students attended the same high school.
Unconscious, not breathing.
7 News was the first to show how Loudoun County Public Schools knew about the overdoses for weeks and didn't tell parents about the string of student overdoses. Altogether, 11 Parkview High School students overdosed within an 8-week period. When we learned about what happened, 7 News pressed Loudoun County Superintendent Aaron Spence for answers.
Why did it take you so long to notify the public about fentanyl overdoses, sir? Why did it take you so long?
Nick, we're not going to do this tonight. We're not going to have this conversation the way we're having this conversation. We've had a conversation.
When are we going to have the conversation?
Put the camera away. You and I go sit down, have coffee, and we'll talk about your approach to journalism, Nick. Okay?
Why did it take you so long to notify the parents about the fentanyl overdoses? You didn't know about the overdoses late September?
At the time, 7 News' reporting caught the attention of Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, who quickly signed an executive order ordering all Virginia schools to tell parents about school-connected overdoses within 24 hours. Our reporting is cited in the governor's order.
It only takes one pill to kill someone or one conversation to save a life.
1 year after the Parkview High School student overdoses, I sat down with the governor.
Since then, we've seen a big drop in a lot of areas of juvenile overdoses. Fairfax County, Arlington County, Alexandria, and Loudoun County, they've all seen dramatic drops in juvenile overdoses. Do you think this executive order and the increased awareness is helping?
Well, it's absolutely helping, and we're seeing it across the Commonwealth that, first of all, families knowing what an overdose from fentanyl can do, which is kill you.
So far this year, Loudoun County and Fairfax County have seen a more than 70% drop in juvenile drug overdoses compared to last year. A 70% drop. And the city of Alexandria and Arlington County have seen an 80% drop in juvenile drug overdoses.
I think this executive order is a good one, and I think it is saving lives across Virginia.
Loudoun County Sheriff Mike Chapman was the person who blew the whistle about the string of student overdoses after LCPS didn't tell parents for weeks.
We went ahead and we put an announcement out when that happened, and that really did have an impact. I mean, and largely because of the work that you did, that had a major impact in the area, and people paid attention to it.
Chapman says Virginia lawmakers should pass a bill to require schools to notify parents within 24 hours of suspected student overdoses. That way, when a new governor comes in and potentially ends Youngkin's order, the 24-hour notice to parents will still be required.
Now, I'd love to have a final bill that demands this, and that's what we're working for.
And going forward,
when schools notify parents about student overdoses, do you think the school should be named? We know Fairfax County Public Schools does that. Others do too, like in Prince William County. But in some cases, Loudoun County does not. Do you think the school should be named?
I do think the school should be named. I think it's incredibly helpful for parents to know it's their school and that there is an issue with a potential shared counterfeit Percocet or Tylenol or Advil that is not what it's supposed to be in their school. And I think it's part of being transparent with parents and to make sure that they understand what's happening in their children's lives.
The Virginia State Police is looking into the Loudoun County Board of Supervisors' taxpayer-funded international travel, according to sources familiar with the situation. 7 News was the first to show how Loudoun County Chair Phyllis Randall and County Supervisor Julie Briskman spent tax dollars on a trip to Uruguay last year, and how Randall, Karan Sains, Sylvia Glass, and county staff spent their time and tax dollars last year for a trip to Ghana. 7 News showed how the elected officials spent more than $7,300 each on airline tickets on United Polaris business class to and from Ghana. They stayed at a 5-star resort on the beach, and they spent time at tourist hotspots. Randall and Sains also brought a political donor's husband on the trip. Tax dollars were used for his hotel, plane ticket, and food. In a public records request, 7 News found the county bought a digital camera. 7 News submitted a Freedom of Information Act request for all the photos taken on the trips. Here's a picture of Briskman enjoying the water in Uruguay. Randall and Briskman flew business class to Uruguay. They stayed at a 5-star resort overlooking a beach. They visited wineries, a cannabis lab, and participated in a beachside seafood lunch, and they visited an equestrian center for sunset cocktails. And Briskman billed the county for her oversized bag fee on the way home from Uruguay. Randall brought her husband with her to Ghana.
Husband to the check.
And Randall upgraded her hotel room because her husband was with her. That more than doubled the cost of Randall's hotel room, which tax dollars were used for until 7 News began asking questions. The day after I asked Randall about her hotel room upgrade in July 2023, Randall said she reflected on 7 News' question, and she said she would reimburse the county for the difference of the hotel room upgrade. But when 7 News checked in with the county 2 months later, 7 News found Randall only paid back half of the difference. Later that year, a third-party audit was done on the county. The audit looked into Randall's hotel room upgrade. Days before the audit was made public in December, the audit said Randall repaid the rest of the hotel room upgrade to the county. But the audit still raised red flags about the county's travel policy and recommended changes. When 7 News asked what residents of Loudoun County are getting from these trips, Randall said this.
$1.37 billion in commercial investment, 2,500 new jobs, $1.37 billion in investment, over 100 new businesses.
As a 7 News investigation found, Randall drastically exaggerated how many jobs and investments her trips have generated in Loudoun County. And Randall still has not provided evidence that her lavish trips have directly brought jobs and investments to Loudoun County. And Randall has gone on at least 7 international trips paid for with tax dollars. 7 News asked the Virginia State Police about their investigation. The state police told 7 News it's their policy not to comment on investigations involving elected officials. For the first time, Democrat Delegate Conor Srinivasan is answering 7 News' questions in person about why he voted against bipartisan legislation that would have required schools to notify parents of school-connected overdoses within 24 hours. The legislation passed unanimously in the Virginia State Senate, but it was blocked by House Democrats. The legislation to require schools to notify parents within 24 hours of school-connected overdoses was introduced because late last year, several Parkview High School students overdosed. Many of those overdoses involve fentanyl, and 7 News showed how Loudoun County Public Schools failed to tell parents about the string of overdoses for weeks.
You're running to represent this Senate district that includes Parkview High School. How can constituents in Loudoun County trust you to represent their interests?
My commitment to parental notification, my commitment to address fentanyl opioid crisis is unwavering. I am 100% supportive of immediate parental notification, period. And that is why my track record proves. I have absolutely
Your track record doesn't prove that.
Srinivasan voted against Governor Glenn Youngkin's amendment that would have required mandatory 24-hour notice to parents. But Srinivasan's campaign is distributing literature to voters, claiming he supports laws to notify parents of overdoses.
So you're misleading people about your voting record.
I am not misleading people.
Let me ask you this. If a kid brought a loaded gun to school, would you expect that school system to tell parents about that?
I am 100% supportive of student safety. 100% supportive of
So you'd expect the school system to tell parents about the loaded gun in school?
I expect the school system to keep students safe and involve parents.
So do you think the school system should also tell parents if a kid brings a pill to school that involves fentanyl that could kill a student, do you expect the school system to tell parents about that?
I would not have fought this hard in the General Assembly to pass these bills to protect students if I did not believe in parental notification, parental involvement, and keeping it safe for kids.
Then why did you vote
committed to it.
Then why did you vote against requiring schools to notify parents within 24 hours of overdoses?
I voted for the study so that it is done professionally, so that all parties are consulted, including parents, including students, including teachers, and also keeping in mind the privacy laws.
Delegate Shireen Vazin voted to direct the Virginia Board of Education to recommend guidelines to schools on how to notify parents about school-connected overdoses. We will let you know what those recommendations are and if they will be mandatory or optional for schools. The draft guidance is expected to be published in January. 7 News was the first to report how Loudoun County Superintendent Aaron Spence brought his PR person with him from Virginia Beach City Public Schools, created a new position for her at LCPS, and gave her a taxpayer-funded salary of $251,000. 7 News asked LCPS, how does the superintendent justify giving Natalie Allen a salary of more than $250,000 plus benefits and moving costs? LCPS replied in part, quote, this level of compensation is in line with other chief officers, unquote. 7 News submitted public records requests to learn what nearby school systems paid their top PR people. Alexandria City Public Schools pays their top PR person $153,000. Fairfax County Public Schools pays their top PR person $159,000. Arlington Public Schools, $190,000. DC Public Schools pays their top PR person $211,000. Prince William County Public Schools, $218,000. Montgomery County Public Schools, $234,000. Prince George's County Public Schools, $244,000. And Loudoun County Public Schools tops the list at $251,000 for their top PR person. 2 days after a 7 News story on Allen's salary, LCPS sent this email to Loudoun County families requesting them to donate to students to pay down their school meal debts. A Loudoun County parent responded to LCPS writing, quote, of course parents received this on the same day that we're all learning that Natalie Allen is receiving more in compensation than a member of Congress. If LCPS has the money to pay a public servant $250,000 a year plus benefits, why aren't we wiping out all meal debts? Isn't it more advantageous to children to have the money to order breakfast and lunch than to have some overpaid communication specialists layered on top of people with more experience proofread overdose press releases? This is insulting as a parent, a taxpayer, and as someone with common sense. Perhaps Natalie Allen could send this to herself with a link to donate, unquote. Nick Minock, 7 News. I'm at Central Union Mission in Washington, D.C., and we spoke to 2 men who said the Central Union Mission changed their lives. Over a week ago,
Table 7, 8, and 9.
Central Union Mission and volunteers began preparing for this day.
Thank you, my dear.
From cooking 40 turkeys and all the trimmings to setting up table decorations and writing cards for everyone who takes his seat to enjoy a family-style Thanksgiving feast with community.
We are prepared to receive as many as 600 people.
Of the hundreds of people who walk through these doors for Thanksgiving lunch and dinner, many don't have a home.
I was homeless in a car for about 6 months, and I was renting the car for Instacart and DoorDash, and the owner of the car said one day that he wanted to sell the car.
The owner of that car brought Christian Nathan to Central Union Mission, where he has been staying for 3 months.
They transform your life.
Central Union Mission serves the community in many ways, including holiday meals, a place for people to lay their heads, 3 hot meals a day, counseling, medical services, classes, job resources, and faith-based services.
Do you think it has made a difference in your life?
Yeah, I mean, definitely through God, changing my life, because before I didn't know that even God was there, and it's a very God-like place. Finding God has definitely changed my life for the better, most definitely.
Andre has been staying at Central Union Mission for 9 months.
Like Kristen was saying, we like a family. When I came here, it's just a bunch of people just like me, you know, broken, trying to get their lives together. It's a blessing because you can get people off the streets.
Andre is enrolled in the mission's Restoration and Transformation Program.
What has this program and Central Union Mission mean to you?
For me, man, it makes me grow up a little bit through the program. It made me grow up, and it showed me that responsibility is a big thing. You know, things do happen, but I'm responsible for my life and the outcome of it through Jesus, you know. So it just made me grow up for real, for real.
So this is the fourth Thanksgiving in a row that 7 News has been here at Central Union Mission, and we've heard a lot of stories from folks who had similar stories to the folks you just heard about, how Central Union Mission has saved their lives. If you'd like to watch those other stories that we've done over the years, you can go to our website, WJLA.com.